Thank you for listening to Dark Northwest. If you'd like to see our show grow and continue, please consider leaving a review, engaging with us on social media, or telling a friend about the podcast. Patreon is another way that you can help support this independent production. If you'd like to become a sponsor for the show, please reach out by visiting darknw.com. Now, without further ado, let's start the episode.
You are listening to Dark Northwest, created by Ron Leota and Kirsten Fay, starring Arden, Kirsten Fay, Robbie Clifford, and Ron Leota, narrated by Alex Gardapi, featuring John Badur, Cassandra Schwartz, and Rebecca Leota, music by Aaron Edens. We find our three friends traveling along U.S. Highway 2 on their way up to the Iron Goat Trail, where young Lily was lost not too long ago. They sat in silence for a while as the forest stand of pine trees flew past in the car windows. Branches weighted down with the wet snow typical of early Cascade winter conditions. Unbeknownst to them, sinister forces other than the weather were already at work in the area. Some supernatural, others much more earthly.
So, how was Mexico?
Oh man, it was epic. It was this, transformative experience that really helped my spiritual growth. It was my first time traveling outside of the country, and wow, I was not prepared for what I saw.
And what was that?
Some places in the city felt just like home, but then there was this weird contrast of kids just begging in the streets instead of going to school. When we got to the more rural areas where we were working, there were so many people just living off of nothing. Houses with dirt floors or no indoor plumbing. It was a lot.
That's cool. How's the food? I love Mexican food.
It wasn't like taco time. It was really good, but way too spicy. Unfortunately, I got sick on the fourth day and spent a lot of time inside after that, which kind of sucked. That was around the time my mom called too. The voicemail, of course, I didn't receive until my layover in the States.
Damn, dude, that sucks.
Yeah, it does. Instead of spending Christmas at home with my family, I ended up sitting on the toilet in the Houston airport with diarrhea listening to the voicemail my parents left after my sister died. I feel so selfish for going off on my own adventure.
Dude, that's not your fault.
I know, but I can't shake the thought that if I were there, things would have gone differently.
You gotta let that go, man.
Search and rescue units from Chelan County are in their second day of a recovery mission to locate a backcountry skier who went missing during a recent avalanche near Stevens Pass. A ranger from Mount Baker Snoqualmie National Forest spoke with us about the incident.
Unfortunately, every time you go into the backcountry, you assume the risk of disaster. Remember to use the buddy system, avoid tree wells, and carry the appropriate safety gear. When you take avalanche safety training, you learn that sometimes your simple presence can trigger slides. Stay safe out there, folks, and think twice before you go.
Wait, what the fuck?
The skier, Gene Thurgood, was reported missing yesterday.
What?
I know that voice.
Yeah, that's Morgan Clover. He's been with the station since...
Not the host. The other guy's voice. That's Ranger Creepy.
The ranger from the Iron Goat?
Yeah.
That's quite the coincidence.
Well, I don't believe in coincidences.
Where did he say this guy was skiing again?
Near Stevens Pass.
That's basically the Iron Goat.
He did say it was somewhere in the backcountry. I bet you $20 that this guy was near our tunnel.
I will not take you up on that bet.
Holy crap. Guys, do you think his death is linked to Lily somehow?
It must be.
Oh my god, this is a lot with a ranger involved. Even if nothing spooky really happened, we could get in trouble with the authorities poking around there today. I'm not saying it wasn't ghosts, but this is a whole other layer.
Hey, buddy. It's okay. Just take a deep breath.
It's fine. Can we just go over the gear one more time?
Really? Again?
Yes. I want to be sure. Please, just go through the gear list with me again.
Okay.
Flashlight?
Check.
EMF gauge?
Andy, we're good. I promise. I checked in the driveway, remember?
Okay. If you're sure. Sorry.
Yes, I'm sure.
You have nothing to apologize for. Just keep breathing, big guy.
Thanks, guys. Sorry.
Oh, turn here. That's the Iron Goat trailhead.
No way am I hiking all that way. There's another trailhead in Wellington, and we can just park directly there.
How do you know that?
Because it's on the map? You can't rely on MapQuest directions for everything. I mean, what happens if you don't have internet or a printer? You gotta break out a good local road atlas. They have a lot more of the back roads and stuff. Way more reliable.
Yeah, okay, says the guy who uses GPS for places we've already been to.
I just like to know how long it's going to take to get where I'm going. I don't need to use it every time. Besides, they're about as reliable as online directions.
Anyways, the other route does make sense. I guess I never thought about how quickly the first responders got there afterward.
Who called 911?
I assumed it was Hazel.
And how would I do that? There's not exactly cell service up there. It was the ranger. He found us not too long after the collapse.
How soon did he arrive?
I don't know. A few minutes?
Wasn't he walking in the opposite direction? How did he get there so fast?
I don't know. Why are you grilling me?
I'm not. I haven't even met the guy, but he gives me bad vibes.
Okay, yeah, no worries. You're right. It was weird how fast he got there. And he's a total creep.
How so?
I kind of forgot about it, given the circumstances, but after the ambulance arrived, the ranger drove us back to Tara's car. He seemed really pissed off the whole time, which was pretty messed up considering that Tara and I were in tears. Who cares more about an old, abandoned tunnel than some girl's life? I bet he'd cry over a squirrel dying or some shit. That stupid tree-hugging hippie.
What was Lily's fixation with the tunnel anyway?
What? You don't remember?
I know. It's because I mentioned it as a destination for the paranormal pulse.
Okay, well, not everything is about you, Jake. Lily had a bona fide interest in this place. Sure, she might have first learned about it from you, but I doubt you could rattle off the same facts she knew about the place. Check this out. Look, she even did a report on this for her U.S. history class. I brought the disc.
Oh yeah, she asked to use my computer and some of my equipment for that. It's cool she put it on a CD.
Hello, this is Lily Bardeen of Sultan High School. The date is October 23rd, 2006. I'm here today with Catherine Webb, a volunteer at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center, to talk about the infamous Wellington train disaster. Can you tell us about the history of the incident?
Well, the 1910 Wellington disaster remains the deadliest avalanche in North American history. Two Great Northern Railway trains, the Seattle Express and the Fast Mail, were brought to a halt on their trip from Leavenworth when snowslides covered the tracks outside the western portal of the old Cascade Tunnel. During an unprecedented winter storm, 400 men shoveled snow around the clock for days, while 100 passengers and mail workers waited on the immobilized trains, perched on double tracks above a ravine and below a steep, barren mountain face where they awaited their fates. The devastation that followed 6 days later, on March 1, 1910, was the outcome of confounding factors, including corporate greed, hubris, and an utter disregard for Mother Nature's power and wrath. To really understand what happened in Wellington, we should start with the Great Northern Railway Company.
Can you tell us a little bit about the founder of the Great Northern Railway?
Absolutely. Born in 1838, James J.
Boring.
Hey, I was listening to that.
Relax. I've heard this before. The interesting stuff is at the end.
Because the Great Northern Railway Company was vastly unprepared for the severe winter storm that had just hit Stevens Pass.
So, I can see these were all contributing factors to the disaster. But what actually happened in Wellington?
Well, on the sixth and final day at Wellington, in the early morning of Monday, March 1st, a weak snowfield on Windy Mountain collapsed, catalyzing an avalanche that slid into the trains below, knocking them off the tracks and down a steep ravine. where the mostly wooden cars splintered upon impact against the rocks below. 96 people were killed at Wellington that day, including 35 passengers, 58 Great Northern employees on the trains, and 3 railroad employees in the demolished depot.
Oh my gosh, that's so many people. Were there any survivors?
23 people survived. They were pulled from the wreckage by railroad employees who rushed out from the hotel and other buildings where they had been staying. However, their work was soon abandoned because of the adverse weather conditions. When they resumed again, their recovery mission spanned 21 weeks until late July, when the final body was retrieved after the last of the snow had thawed.
Did anyone get in trouble for all the deaths?
Public opinion was not favorable towards the Great Northern Railway at that time. The Seattle Star newspaper published an inflammatory article titled, "Did Penny Squeezing Cost 100 Lives at Wellington?" and chastised the company for ignoring the wildfires that had ravaged the mountains, already sparse from their deforestation, and leaving nothing to hold back the heavy snow. In an appealed Washington Supreme Court case brought against the Great Northern Railway Company by the family of one victim, the jury ultimately ruled in favor of the corporation, stating that the avalanche was an unpredictable and unavoidable act of God. No damages were to be placed on the company despite their inaction on several fronts. The company settled out of court for a couple of other victims and additionally voluntarily paid the deceased trainmen's families between $500 and $1,000, mostly in an attempt to appease their surviving employees.
It's frustrating that the only result was a few payouts. Do you think anything like this could ever happen again?
There can never be any guarantees, but after the incident, James and Lewis Hill spent over $100,000 securing Wellington against a similar disaster, hoping to win back the trust of passengers and shippers. They constructed a half-mile-long concrete snow shed at Wellington, which is still standing today, and built additional wooden sheds along 95% of the route to Scenic in case of future snow blockades. They also quietly renamed the town to Ty. However, a new Cascade Tunnel was built in 1929, which circumnavigated the town entirely, abandoning the tracks at Wellington. The new tunnel is still in operation today.
Do you think it's possible that there are still people out there whose bodies were never recovered?
Oh, sure. Records were imperfect back then, and many employees used fake names to hide their shady work histories. Some transient employees were identified only by a number. Most of the passengers with tickets were documented on the Seattle Express, but there was an unknown number of railmen and postal workers sleeping on the fast mail at Wellington that night. Today, you can walk along the old railroad grade called the Iron Goat Trail off of Highway 2 near Stevens Pass. You can even visit the ghost town of Wellington and see the old Cascade Tunnel. There are some rumors of people going inside the tunnel and feeling cold chills or hearing the distant whistle of a train that never reached its destination. But those are unconfirmed, of course.
I see. One more question. Why do they call it the Iron Goat?
The Great Northern Railway Company built its brand on an ability to navigate challenging mountainous terrains. Hence, the nickname, the Iron Goat.
Well, those are all the questions I have. Thank you for your time teaching me about the avalanche. I learned a lot of useful knowledge today.
Anytime. I'm always happy to see bright young folks like you taking up such an interest in the past.
It was good to hear her voice again. She sounded excited, like she always was on these trips.
Yeah.
We lost a good one, for sure.
Andy, Hazel, and Jake pulled off of the old Ty Road into an obscure parking lot. It was a cold and wet winter day. The parking lot was nearly empty, save a gunmetal Land Rover Defender and a white U.S. Forest Service Ford F-150. Exiting the truck's driver's side door, an all too familiar figure appeared.
Shit! What's he doing here?
Hazel was suddenly reminded of their first interaction on the trail with Tara and Lily.
How much further is it? I don't know how much longer I can keep climbing.
Not much. I don't think. My fingers are fucking freezing, though. What does the trail map say, Lily?
Half my index finger, so maybe another half mile or so.
Ugh. Remind me again why we did this in the winter? It's freezing up here. My hands are raw.
Well, I was hoping that maybe everyone would have been home. Between Jake's last-minute travel plans and Andy being busy, it just didn't work out, you know? I wish the old gang could have gotten back together.
I think that ship has long since sailed.
You and Jake still haven't talked?
Not since the Blythe house, no. Wait. Were you gonna try to parent trap us if Jake was home?
No! Well, maybe. You were all best friends in high school. It was sad to see the paranormal pulse break up like it did.
The paranormal what?
The paranormal pulse. That's what we used to call our group.
Oh my god. I love you, Lily. That's super dorky and
She's not wrong.
okay, Capricorn. As I was saying, super dorky and also like totally rad in a Scooby Gang kind of way. Who came up with that?
I think it was a combination of Jake and Andy. Jake insisted that we come up with a name for the group since it would make us sound more official. I didn't really care, but the boys started brainstorming and all they could come up with was paranormal something. Then one day, we were investigating an old boarded up apartment building and we started hearing what sounded like a heartbeat.
Whoa, that's weird as hell. Sounds like some Edgar Allan Poe shit.
Sadly, it wasn't some telltale heart situation after all. We pinpointed the source of the noise to a cardboard box that was thumping around. Andy, very bravely, lifted the box and then screamed like a little kid when a trapped cat bolted out.
That was kinda our light bulb moment. 'Cause Jake just blurted out, paranormal pulse. And it stuck after that.
Shit, I think that's a park ranger.
Chill, dude. It's not like we're not allowed to be on the trails.
Good afternoon, ladies.
Hi, officer.
What brings you out on such a cold day?
Just showing my friends how pretty it is out here. How about yourself?
Just doing a little patrol, check for fallen trees, lost hikers, people up to no good, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, gotta keep the forest safe from evildoers and all that.
Funny. Just make sure to keep to the main trails. There are some dangerous sites around these parts, especially this time of year. You're not planning on having some fun in the old tunnels, are you?
No, sir.
Good. We've been having some trouble with kids thinking this is a place to party instead of respecting hallowed ground. There's also a lot of standing water and unpredictable conditions. Wouldn't want anyone getting hurt.
Thanks for the heads up. We should really be going.
All right, well, sorry to bother you. Park closes after dark. Stay safe out there, ladies.
That guy had a creepy vibe.
Okay, it wasn't just me who got that. Let's stop here for a break. The tunnel should be just around the next bend, and I want to make sure Ranger Creepy is gone long before we head in.
Oh shit, I almost had a panic attack.
What? Why?
I got some weed on me, and I don't need that kind of trouble.
We should smoke a bowl to celebrate after we're done here.
Lily, I think we should turn back.
Are you serious? We're almost there. This is gonna be awesome. Besides, that tunnel has stood for almost 100 years. I think it'll hold up a few more hours.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Let's just be careful and stick together.
You're starting to sound like someone.
That's not funny.
Good afternoon, folks.
The ranger's voice brought Hazel back to the present moment.
Good afternoon, sir.
What brings you out here on this fine winter day?
Just exploring nature and learning a bit about Washington history.
Oh, you must be confused. You ought to be looking for the Iron Goat Trail. That's a common mistake. Out here, we just got the old Cascade Tunnel. Well, what remains of it, that is. The interpretive trail's a bit further west. Here, let me show you on the map. Oh, it's you again.
Hi, Ranger Hill. I was just...
Now, kids, I understand this perverse attraction to death, trying to make some meaning out of life and what have you. But you all must understand this place is extremely dangerous. I mean, you of all people should understand that, little lady. Don't you think you've done enough? Now, get going. You don't want to be caught out here in the storm that's brewing. Historically, it hasn't worked out well for most people.
Ranger Hill, are you there?
Speak.
Hill, we are getting reports of a 1092. Seems someone forgot to put their emergency brake on and their car is blocking the Deception Creek Trailhead parking lot.
Can't Ranger Jeffries take it? I'm kind of in the middle of something.
Jeffries called out sick today. You're the only ranger serving the area currently.
God damn it. 10-4. I'm heading to Deception Creek now.
Over.
Now look, when I get back, I better not see you parked here. This place is off limits to the likes of yous. I don't want to have to call the paramedics again so soon, you hear?
We'll be sure to stay out of your way, which is everywhere, apparently.
What was that?
Nothing, Ranger Hill.
That's what I thought. I mean it. Get out of here. Don't make me... Never mind. Just get.
What a twisted man. Why would he say that?
Told ya. Ranger Creepy. Creepy Hill.
The group began their short walk to the old Cascade Tunnel West Portal. They'd only made it a few yards onto the trail when the first flakes of snow started to fall, fat and heavy, the temperature dropping at an unusual rate.
Don't forget I packed hand warmers in the backpack. Seems like it's going to be a cold one.
Hazel, why did you stop?
That chill again. It felt like this on that day.
A look of horror had fallen on Hazel's face, one of fear and traumatic memory.
I still think this is kind of weird. Like, we're up here looking for ghosts. Shouldn't we be trying to avoid them?
That's half the fun, Tara. It's supposed to be spooky and kind of suspenseful, even if we don't find anything.
Which we won't, because ghosts aren't
Even if we don't find anything, it will be a fun hike. This place has a ton of history.
Yeah, history, where a bunch of people died tragically. Anyways, I'm so stoked your parents decided to unground you so you could enjoy something of a winter break. I missed you.
I'm always over the moon when I spend time with you.
Hey, what am I? Just background noise?
Of course, I'm happy you're here too, Hazel. Don't be a buzzkill. This is gonna be great. Come on.
It's too cold.
Hazel, you coming? Earth to Hazel.
Yeah, sorry. Just gotta chill.
Well, standing around isn't gonna fix that. Let's go while we still have light.
So you and your friends used to do this for fun?
Yeah, Jay came up with the idea of forming a ghost squad after he got inspired reading a book by this ghost hunting couple called the Warrens. They were like prolific in their field. So he wanted to try it out with us too. I guess that's what happens when you put a bunch of teenagers in a small town with nothing to do.
What are we supposed to do with all these dope gadgets? I feel all James Bond with all this stuff.
Here, let me show you. This is called an EMF reader. It reads like energies and stuff and lets us know if there are any supernatural presences. What?
Nothing. I can just totally hear Andy lecturing you for that description.
Well, he's not here to do all the tech demo stuff, so I have to make do.
Yeah, it sucks he couldn't make it.
It sucks that everyone couldn't make it. But getting Jake and Hazel together is a bit awkward.
Why is that? Oh, wait. Was it because at the end of last summer, they had a huge fight where Hazel called Jake an idiot and he dissed her back by calling her poor?
Lily!
Oh, that's a funny imagination you have there, Tara.
No, I don't. You said.
Shh.
Whatever.
Am I doing this right? It's not doing anything.
That's because it isn't picking up any signals.
And what's with this little tape recorder? Don't doctors use these?
So do all the pro ghost hunters.
Yeah, pro ghost hunters.
We use this for EVP.
What's EVP?
Electronic voice phenomenon. You hit record and you talk to the ghosts. Sometimes they respond, but you can only hear it on the playback. Here, I'll play it.
Hello, Earth to Hazel. Okay, you're officially freaking me out.
Huh? Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, everybody just stay close, and more importantly, be careful.
What was that?
It's just a branch falling.
I don't like this. As much as I hate to say it, maybe we should just listen to the creep and head home.
No, we can't pack out now. We have to figure out what happened up here. It's our chance to prove everything. We have to do it for Lily. It's what she'd want.
What she'd want? I don't think she'd want us to get ourselves killed up here. Wait. It's not just about Lily, is it, Jake?
I don't know what you mean.
It's about the stupid club, isn't it? It's about proving ghosts are real.
No! I mean, well, maybe a little. But Lily cared about that too. It's what she would have wanted.
I can't believe this. Your sister died, and you're still trying to be the next Ed Warren?
Don't you dare lecture me. You were the one that brought her up here to begin with. You were the one that hid the fact that she was smoking pot and dating a girl.
Well, why the hell do you think she hid that from you? Because she was so afraid that you'd abandon her because of your stupid, bigoted beliefs.
Guys?
I loved my sister. I wouldn't have turned her away for being gay. You don't know me as well as you think you do, Hazel. You think you know everything about everyone. I'm sick of it.
Guys?
Well, maybe I'm sick of you.
Guys! Why? Why do you two always have to do this? Both of you are making this about you. It doesn't matter if Jake still cares about the ghost stuff. It doesn't matter that Hazel thought she was just protecting Lily. None of that matters.
As white-hot anger bubbled amongst the group, they'd completely lost focus on the trailhead. Because of this, none of them noticed the ghostly hands rising from the earth. Andy, lost in a storm of emotions, never saw them until it was too late.
Ah!
Andy, be careful!
Oh my God! Those hands! A dozen freaking arms are coming out of the ground!
It's got me!
Andy struggled against the hand grasping at his ankle, feeling the weight of 100 years of despair attempting to pull him down into the ground. He mustered all of his strength and pulled against the spectral forces, and with one last tug, his shoe came loose, causing him to fall towards the cliff to the side of the trail.
Andy!
Despite Jake's frantic attempts to catch him, Andy toppled. The hands vanished into the earth, their grim work complete. The cliffside loomed, a sheer 150-foot drop. Andy fell, arms flailing, desperate for something, anything to cling to. In that split second, his mind flashed through his best memories. Hazel's bad jokes, Jake's lifelong friendship, Lily's excited smile. The only friends he'd ever truly known. And as the wind howled past him, one question echoed in his mind. Was this it for Andy Wong?
Greetings, Darklings. Kirsten here, co-creator of Dark Northwest. Thank you for listening to episode 4 of our podcast. We want to thank our acolytes of the dark on Patreon who helped make this episode possible: JP, Shanzan, and Greg. A special shout out goes to our heroes of the dark: Rainbow, who wants to welcome any friends of DeSoto that came to listen from our Jumbotron on the Greatest Trek podcast; Zachary Smith, who paid both me and Ron to say he's our personal favorite fan; Ron's old adventuring buddy, Mr. Bond; and Dr. Steve, who is somehow not the tallest fan of Dark Northwest. If you'd like to support this independent production, please visit patreon.com/darknwpodcast. For more information, including sound effect attributions, check out darknw.com. Join us next week for episode 5 of Dark Northwest.